Hello guys, we're back at it with round 5 of the PPG, right?
I think this is round 6,
Oh, we just got
actually.
done with round 5.
Yeah, we just got done
so
with round 5. So right
yeah.
now we're going to be having Dinos on the left, I think, in the red. And then we don't know what's actually coming up on the right side. But this is a feature match from Table 5. So they're both at the high top tables. And they've been doing really good this tournament. So let's see how it turns out.
Yeah, we saw some people ask for dinos, so we decided to go and grab it.
Yeah, hopefully this is a Dinos versus meta because it's kind of fallen out of the meta right now with a lot of trap cards. Dino can't really play past turn 1, which is really big.
Yeah, the deck also auto loses to Ice Dragon's Prison. If you
Yeah,
don't
Ice
have to play
Dragon's
around
Prison's
it.
crazy. Like, you have to Tornado Dragon in the main phase, like, to play around it, if that, or,
Yeah.
like, make Logia, because you just lose to it in the battle phase on Conductor.
Yeah, a lot of people just chain it to Misc Effect and then banish that and Oviraptor in this game.
Oh, that's insane, yeah. Like, Ice Dragon's Prison is just so strong in this format.
Yeah. It's always like a solid 1-for-1, or you can use the Link Climb.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a nice
It's spot
card.
removal that doesn't target, that banishes, like, it does everything you want it to do, basically.
Yeah, and it can be a 2-for-1 if you hit something nice out of Grave.
Yeah, like, doing that card on Lord is just insane and can outright win you the matchup.
Yeah, if you hit 2 Lord with that, it's almost game over.
Yeah, 100% at that point. So let's see who decides to go first. Looks like they're getting ready to start off the match right here.
Yep.
Not sure if they rolled the dice. We got them right before they started, so they might have rolled the dice and figured out who's going first already.
Everyone's so happy that we're showing Dino.
Yeah, so we got some dinos, Dino DNA. We can get that in the chat right now. See, we also have our judge next to them to make sure everything goes a little more fluid this time around. We know we had some issues last round with some of the rulings, but Dino cards are a little more familiar, so I'm pretty sure things will be kind of smooth this round.
Not a lot of complex rulings with them.
Yeah, it's very simple. Miss Go Burr, basically.
Yeah.
See, it looks like they're trying to get some stuff set up. I'm not really sure if they're maybe pulling up a calculator, things like that.
Yeah, they're just making sure everything's ready, making sure that the cameras look good.
Yeah, exactly. Making sure they get their time started at the right time as well, because we don't want them starting with 3 minutes behind of the main event, because
Yeah.
then they're just at a disadvantage, not even being able to play for the first 40 minutes.
So we're going to be hopping into the game.
Yeah,
So
let's
they're
see.
gonna be
They're getting
about-
started right now.
Yeah, roughly 3 minutes behind.
Oh, I saw a Gamma in the Dino player's hand, and I think a Mystic Mine.
And a baby, and I think a Fossil Dig.
Wow, that's a very, very solid hand.
Yeah, it's going to use Extravagance.
So, do you think this is going to be a control deck, or do you think it's going to be Dino's back?
Yo, if it's a Dino mirror match, that'll be wild.
That will be wild. This is probably like, what would you think? Eldritch, pure Eldritch, probably.
I have no idea. Extravagance can be used in like every
Yeah, Extravagance has become so generic, like Desires. Numeron Network. Okay, the Gamma's going to be really good on this Zexal if his
Yeah.
opponent plays into it.
He's on Guru.
Okay, this is very interesting. So we get 2 rogue matchups for you guys right now, which is pretty cool. Guru, which you don't really see too often. It's a deck that mostly people that have played it since it's come out are the
Yeah.
ones that stick to it now.
So no material was seen some play online in Drytron. I assume that he's not going to be playing around it, and would rather play around Nib game 1.
Yeah.
It's way more common.
I think you definitely play around Nib.
For sure.
There's no reason not to, I think. And then if you get no material that's like, sure, they main deck no material, I really don't think you have to play around that. Like, there's certain formats where you have to play around no material in general. And wow, he has Hidden City as well.
He's also not playing around YuGiOh.
Yeah, Geonome, but I guess he's not going to get that far if
Yeah.
Zexal's on the field. But yeah, opening up Hidden City and having access to Numeron Network is just crazy because you get Fiendus to protect your Zexal.
He also
Oh,
had Extravagance. Oh.
Yeah, and he's searching the Behemoth, so his hand must be insane.
Yeah, his hand's nice.
Or it just has a lot of engine cards, which is also not bad because he got to start off, so he gets to put his engine on the field first.
I mean, he has to have
An
Fiendus
Ogre here
and
would be
Guru.
crazy, though. Imagine Ogre on Hidden City right
Yeah.
there.
I actually really like Ogre versus Guru.
Yeah, Ogre's good. I think you're kind of forced to Gamma here to at least clear the Guru. because like they search Fiendus and then like they protect the Zexal anyway.
Yeah, try to out the Subterra stuff now.
Yeah, like the Zexal you'll have to deal with later.
But like we said, he has to have Fiendus if he searched the big guy.
Yeah, 100%. So this will at least force the Fiendus and put it face down, which means he can't Fiendus on the Zexal.
Yeah. Well, he can Hidden City flip it up.
He just Hidden City flipped it up now.
I mean,
to use
not.
its effect.
Oh, sorry. Final Battle.
Yeah,
flip
he
it
can
up.
Final Battle flip it up. Yes. So he has Final Battle, and then we know he has Umastrix in his hand. So he probably has 2 unknowns.
Just reading it real quick. The
Yeah.
card does have a lot of effects.
It has 4 different effects. There's a reason the card's very strong. I think the best part about it is that it gets to reset itself.
Yeah.
To be used again, like no other trap card does that. And the Ash, a little bit too late.
No, that's really nice because he's gonna be able to Ash Guru and there's gonna be no Fiendus.
Oh, if he did not search the Fiendus, yeah. If he
Maybe.
that just could have been the draw. Wow. Did he just say he's not using its effect? So you Fiendus it?
It's gonna chain Droplet.
Wow.
That's nice.
That was great.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, so if his hand has any way to misc, I think the game's over because we know he has Umastrix in his hand, so he has 1 unknown. And then he also has the Final Battle set, which can't be used this turn anymore. So he doesn't really have disruption besides his Zexal.
The Gamma put in so much work. It traded with 2 Fienduses.
Yeah, and once the Fienduses are gone, they have to Cave Clash, add them back. It's really hard to get them back.
Most people also don't play the
Cave Clash,
just
yeah.
'cause it's a brick.
Yeah, you don't want to draw it. Like it's the same thing as like Hercules base, where like if you run out of your resource, you're out of them. So
Yeah. Also, like, it's kind of like Final Battle. A lot of people don't want to draw that card.
yeah,
unless
you
they see
want to
other-
search it,
Mhm.
making sure he reads Hidden City, as it does have a battle protection effect.
They said Ruben is actually killing commentary. Good
Thank
man.
you. Shout outs to you, man. Love the support. And then Austin's also been killing. I gotta say, he's been an amazing co-commentator, kind of taking the first step every time. Newer to this than he is. Let's see, Lost World. That field spell is crazy. Normal summon baby, so not the best opening, but it's definitely not bad.
It's enough.
Yeah. The effects of Lost World are so crazy. The protection effect, the attack reduction, and preventing from targeting. That's just really good, especially like in the virtual world matchup. If you can go first and like give them a token and they can't clear, it's
Yeah.
actually really strong. Because that way they can't Quinglong you, they can't Chuchi target your cards except for the Lost World, and then they can't target their monsters in the hand.
So, I was actually wrong about the Fossil Dig. It was actually just 2 droplets. He has another droplet in hand, and now he can't do anything because he's going to attack the token. City's going to negate the attack.
Yeah. I don't know if I would have attacked there because you just give him another free search.
You definitely don't attack. I mean, I guess you have to try. Like,
Yeah.
this is like his last shot at trying to go
Yeah, and
for
see,
it.
there you go. He adds the Cave Clash. This is huge.
Does play it. Wild.
Yeah, so the Cave Clash, I'm pretty sure it gives them a buff, and it makes his Guru a quick effect Book of Moon, so that's going to be really strong once he's able to clear this token.
Yeah, that's going to be probably game.
Yeah, a good card right now would be like Survival's End. If he had access to Survival's End,
Yeah.
this would be really strong because he gets to pop the baby and then pop the token as well.
Survival's End was so nice when Link Cross was a thing.
Yeah.
If you resolved that card on Link Cross, you just won.
If you just resolved it in general, it was really good because it just tutors the Overraptor out of your deck, and if you don't get killed that turn, you have enough follow-up with, whether it be with the Conductor or with Misk.
Yeah, and it gives you multiple interruptions too, with Pancratops on the Trap and Grave effect.
Yeah, and Pancratops is so strong.
One thing about Dino that's really cool is they get to just main deck the Pancratops.
And it's searchable. Like, if your opponent has 2 monsters, normal summon Overraptor, search Pancratops, summon Pancratops.
It's nice. So we're going to see him attack.
So attacking. That Zexal's also putting in a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, it made his opponent Gamma and Droplet it, and then he just still couldn't do anything.
He's going to have to also use Droplet on it next turn.
Yeah, I don't really think there's many cards he can draw in this situation.
Like,
Because he's going to get the Fiendus back, so, like, the Droplet, like, will stop the Zexal, but then he gets Fiendus.
yeah, he can't top deck anything here.
And then he also has the Subterra Final Battle set, so he can set the Guru, and the Guru also has a flip effect. Yeah, this game's looking like it's going to be over really soon.
I think they're just going over how much damage it is. Since Lost World makes them lose some attack, Cave Clash makes them gang attack.
Yeah, and then he's going to resolve Cave Clash's effect to get the Fiendus back from the graveyard, which is really good because this way he doesn't have to get the last one out of his deck either.
Yeah, this is looking very good.
And we could also see like a Dragoon package, like if he just goes into like Link Spider into Verte, like
That'd be wild.
Guru is known to play Dragoon, so it's definitely a possibility. Doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Yeah, if he played Link Spider in this deck, it's crazy.
Yeah. So he's flipping the droplet. He has Ash in his hand, but I don't think it matters.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, he's scooping. So thinking about it, the Guru effect actually would not have been able to activate to flip because of the Lost World. So it would have been interesting to see if he drew any way to swing at the token. That he could have maybe activated some of the effects to try and, stay in that game for a little bit. But clearly he didn't draw anything too crazy there.
Yeah, just admitted defeat. Not too much to do. We would have needed like a Oviraptor top deck.
He was definitely behind it. Like, I think Oviraptor by itself wouldn't have been like enough. You need like the Oviraptor search along with like you need the Lost World to like put in work as well and resolve and have like all of that go without any disruption, which we can imagine he must have had something there.
Yeah, had to have had something for sure. And he still had like a full hand. Could have had hand traps.
Yeah, I think the Dino matchup is actually pretty awkward here because you typically want to go second, like break apart boards, use Conductor, and just like abuse the fact that it can just send everything. It has 3,500 attack. One of the better boss monsters that most decks have. And like the Mist Protection is crazy, but facing down back row, facing down Zexal, you can't really go with the same strategy. So it's going to be very interesting to see what approach he takes if he decides to go first and maybe try to put in Survival's End.
We do see him putting in Twin Twisters here.
There's a good sign. And it looks like Lightning Storms as well, so maybe he's going second.
Maybe.
And the thing is, those cards, as good as they are versus back row, we didn't see the back row putting in too much work this game one. We really saw Zexal and the engine cards really carried.
Zexal is nice.
Yeah, he probably is making sure he just has a way to negate Zexal, because if that card resolves, you can't really play.
I mean, he probably only has like Droplet to really stop it.
Droplet and Gamma are really the only ways, which, I mean, it's a good thing he main decks both of them already. So he at least had the chance to see them game one, which he did. Unfortunately, his opponent had their responses for them. But
the Gamma wouldn't really work versus the Zexal because he's always going to set up Fiendus.
If he has access to the Hidden City, then yeah, he's always going to have Fiendus. But you don't always have access to Guru. You can just sometimes activate Numeron Network and just not end up with it.
You don't always, get both.
Yeah. Obviously, it's the best of both worlds to open both field spells, but you don't always. It's like opening Mist Baby. That's crazy, and like you'd love to open that every game, but it doesn't happen every game.
I bet you he does open Hidden City every game, though. They always do.
They always do, yeah. It's like they always have Misk.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can imagine this. If the Dino player goes first, I can put money on him opening a Misk Baby.
100%. He's going to open up Misk Baby. The opponent's
going
to open
up
Hidden City.
Yeah. And he's going to have Gamma, too, to stop, like, the Ash. It looks like the Subterra guy is going first.
Starts off with Network.
Okay, so field spell number 1. Let's see if he opens up both of them.
See Lancias. There can be only one.
I did see an Ash in the Guru player's hand.
It doesn't even look like he's playing that many trap cards.
No, he might just be focusing more on like using a card like Zexal to stun his opponent and getting that to resolve, and then using the Guru engine to like grind you out in 2 turns.
Yeah, it also would really help like deck building wise, like taking out the traps and playing hand traps instead. Game 2 and 3, they're gonna have Lightning Storms, Red Reboot, and you're just not gonna have traps.
Yeah, and it makes it so much better because your opponent doesn't know where your disruption's coming from at that point because they can just think you bricked on multiple monsters or multiple spells.
Exactly.
When in reality, all your responses are coming from your hand anyway.
I want to see YuGiOh take Zexal so bad. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Dino's not going to play it.
Of course.
Set Guru, probably. Yeah.
Set Guru, it's like strong, but not opening up Hidden City. And I think he top decked Droplets for turn, if I'm being 100% honest with you. He has Twin Twister in his hand.
He's going to use Extravagance.
Yeah, this is most likely getting Ash. So this is something where I think you got to be careful as the Guru player, like ashing this, because if you get gammoned here, even if your Zexal resolves, like you just still have a way to beat over both of the monsters. Then your Zexal's not doing as much, and you can like make an Omega and just like recycle a card and then pass turn.
Yeah.
And you know you're not dying.
It's cool to see both of these players use Extravagance. Like, neither of them need their extra deck. And they can just draw. Well, like, the Numeron player needs his extra deck, but he can just play multiples of everything.
And the same thing with the Dino deck. It does summon a couple extra cards like Link Karibo and Secure Gardena. And Dolka or Logia, depending on the matchup.
Probably even Tornado Dragon in this matchup could be pretty good.
Tornado Dragon must be really strong for Hidden City if he has to encounter that.
Yeah.
But already Fossil Dig for Overraptor, that's a great start.
Yeah, and he has Twin in hand, too. That could be good for a following turn.
Yeah, so his opponent's being very disciplined with the Zexal, not wanting to play into the Gamma, which is super smart.
Yeah. He's going to normal OV, use effects.
And Chain Droplets. Probably sending the Twin Twister, because it looked like he had 2 in his hand.
He's going to send the OV Raptor, it looks like.
Interesting. Now I want to see what he searches here.
I guess that does make sure that it resolves.
Yeah, 100%. That way there's no other like Veiler or anything like that that can interact with it. But I don't know what you search as a one-off. It didn't seem like his hand had any other combo piece. This would be also really good if he had like Gamma, so he's trying to play around like Crow or something like that.
He's going to send Pet from deck.
So he might just have Conductor in his hand. And Conductor would be pretty cool because he can just send the Guru to the graveyard without having it a flip and search.
Yeah. Is that Dark Magician in hand?
Oh, that'd be very unfortunate if it was.
Yeah, I think it was. Or it might be Driver. It's some type of normal
yeah.
monster.
He does have the Conductor, which is nice. Twin Twister, and yeah, it looks like it's just a normal. This is going to be a pretty good position because you're going to deal 2,000 damage to your opponent, clear his Guru, and leave him on 2 cards.
Yeah, that's very strong.
Yeah, not giving them access to search Fiendus or any more of their engines really good.
This is really cutting them off. The network he has Twin Twister for.
Not even. He can just book a moon all of them with the Conductor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only issue about this situation right now is his like Twin Twister's less valuable.
I mean, it could come up later on.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I was saying, like he's not on that many trap cards. It's pretty much just gonna be for like field spells.
Field spells, and then maybe when he sets the final battle or has Cave Clash face up, that's definitely when it'll come up the most.
Yeah, he also has to be somewhat like afraid of Mystic Mine.
Yeah, because the Guru deck doesn't really have many outs to Mystic Mine in general either.
I mean, like the Dino player, like if he didn't have like Twin, like he needed to side and Twin and stuff for it. I guess both of them have to be afraid of Mystic Mine, really.
Mystic Mine is just such a strong card. I think you have to have an out in your main deck for it, or at least in your side deck.
Yeah, for sure in the side.
Yeah, see, he's going to use the Conductor's effect. And yeah, Driver, unfortunately.
Best use for it, though.
Yeah, no, that was pretty crazy. I'm not going to... Because you clog up 3 of his zones and they just get banished.
Or they don't get banished.
Oh, because they're considered new monsters now.
Yeah, it's like Instant Fusion and Raijin setting itself. So that's going to be free damage, though.
Yeah, this... Oh, wow.
Oh.
And that's probably the game. He can just search Banker Tops here. Like we were talking about.
He slapped the F.
Yeah, that's a real F. So you just search Banker Tops and the game's over. Yeah, he's probably not playing Rex. Honestly, that card's considered more of a brick in the current builds because you want to have more access to either Overraptor or Archosaur as your normal summon, and Rex doesn't really do anything in your hand.
Yeah, I agree. It's more of a like win more card. Sometimes you need it to end on like full combo like with Dolka, but not usually.
Yeah, you typically also don't want to summon it off your babies. You'd rather summon Misk for like the follow-up.
Exactly.
Yeah, Misk is just so strong, especially in the graveyard.
Yeah, the Rex is more like you can get punished for doing it. Like you just want the follow-up.
Yeah,
like
you can break by drawing the Rex. Like it can't attack directly, so that's like another thing that's like kind of important about it, and a lot of people don't know. And then just the fact that the card doesn't do anything like on its own. It's just like a 2K stick that can't even attack directly. So
yeah, but going on to game 3, who do we think is gonna go first? I mean, Numeron
is probably gonna want it. He's probably gonna want to go first, realistically.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to work out in the Dinos' favor, as we clearly saw. He wants to go second, so.
I mean, with all these ways to Zexal,
Yeah.
and to ways to protect it, if he opens Zexal plus like Hidden City, like we saw game
Yeah,
one,
it's
could
probably
just,
just a wrap. Yeah, 100%. But Droplets definitely interacts very well with that because you can just Droplets send a monster and it can't be Fiendish right there.
Yeah, we saw Droplets use game 1 and 2.
Yeah, we've seen Droplets all over this tournament. Droplets has been really good. Like, even if it's just stopping, like, rogue things like Zexal, that's really big, especially if you're playing a combo deck or a deck that doesn't do well if it can't activate cards turn 1.
Yeah, most decks.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, unless you're playing Zoo. That's the one deck that can go Summon Dryden, set 4, and pass. But yeah, I actually think the Guru deck should probably make Dinos go first.
I mean, what is Dino gonna set up? Like Tornado Dragon, Conductor?
And the thing is, you don't mind having your cards face down. It's part of your deck's gimmick.
Yeah.
Like, if they set your cards, you're like, oh, trigger my Umastrix. Now I get to flip it and banish a card as well. So I don't think it would be a bad idea to force the Dino player to go first and also put him out of his comfort zone.
Honestly, I really think the Numeron player is gonna go first. Because if the Dino player goes first and just gets Mist Engraved and just has like, even just like Dolka, like that could just be enough.
Yeah, Dolka's good. Well, also, like,
He has to have a way to stop Network.
yeah, Network is crazy, especially in a deck like Dinos where it needs every effect to go off. Like, Mist doesn't interact well.
Yeah, and it just like, it can just put a lot of monsters on board, which is good for Guru since it doesn't really have a way to go for game.
Exactly. And now looking at the match, we do have the Guru player going first, and he did not open up that well.
No
field spells. Yeah, exactly. This is looking kind of rough. The normal summon of the Guru telegraphs the Fiendus 100%.
Or final battle set. Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. He probably would have just set it and flipped it.
Yeah.
Fiendus is better than a Book of Moon here. So he's going to use Extravagance. It's cool to see how people resolve that card.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways. You just, like, present your deck to your opponent to cut, or some people just go top 6. It really just depends. It looked like he banished 2 Link Karibos. That might come up, actually.
Oh, yeah. They usually only play 2.
Let's see. It looked like he had Terraforming in his hand. Yep. If he just places Mystic Mine down, I don't know if Guru might have an out to it in his main deck, or in his deck at this point. You don't really side back row destruction for the Dino deck.
I think you kind of know that Mystic Mine could come down, so I think he's siding something. He's going to use Anti-Spell. Why didn't he do
That's
that
a
during
late
standby?
anti-spell. Damn, yeah, that cost him an Ash as well because he was forced to Ash the Extravagance at that point.
Yeah, and Terraforming versus Anti-Spell is not a good sight.
Yeah, and
get
then
the
he has
wave multiple
Archosaur in his
times.
hand too, so like that pill is also going to take a couple turns to resolve.
That's a really good Anti-Spell.
Yeah, even though it was a little late, the anti-spell was really strong.
So a lot of his cards are just going to have to be set. We can see more spells in hand.
Yeah, he has 3 spells and 2 monsters, and like if the 2 monsters aren't a specific combination of a way to Misk or Archosaur and a baby, it's really hard to just play it with those 2 cards.
Agreed. He's looking at his extra deck, seeing what Link 2s he could go into.
Phoenix for sure is probably the one he's looking at the most.
So he does have Arch and more spells in hand, but it really depends on what that last monster is, because the spells aren't doing anything.
Yeah, if that last monster is a way to Overraptor, I think it's really good. Or if it's 2 normal summons, it's just really bad.
Yeah, or if it's like Arch Driver.
Yeah, Arch Driver, I mean, that's a hand. Let's see, like, maybe Paul's just telegraphing a Fiendus and making his opponent play awkward. Ooh, normal summon of the Misk. So he had Misk Arch, so that's not very good.
No. It's just going to beat over Guru.
Wow. So even if he had the Fiendus, I guess he played it correctly and just swinging and playing the slow game. Now any of his top deck field spells don't work. That's maybe why he was so hesitant to flip up the anti-spell, because as good as it is versus Dinos, if he doesn't have his game plan going, it's not very strong.
I think that it was just worth flipping before, because you're going to flip it at some point.
Oh, I agree as well, but maybe that's something that was going through his head.
The Fiendus is now going to be used to bring back Guru.
Yeah, this is good. Fiendus's field effect is really strong. People forget that, 1, it can reborn back the Guru, and 2, that it can negate from the field as well.
Yeah, that card is insane. That's how they make Anaconda.
Yeah.
He draws. It looked like Harpy's Feather Duster.
Wow, that would have been crazy.
Oh, yeah, last turn without flipping anti-spell.
Yeah, just like dropping the Harpies.
Yeah, that would have been very nice.
Would have been very punishing.
But he's gonna flip the Lost World now.
Oh, and he had a Fossil Dick. I think he has Cosmic in his hand that he drew for turn, not the Harpies.
Yeah.
Either way, as long as it's backward destruction, I think it's going to be good enough to just stop him from getting to field spells. Because if he sets the Harpies, his opponent has to set a field spell, and then you can just Harpies it.
Yeah.
And then the field spell is gone as well, so you're making them play from behind the whole time.
I think Guru is just behind with their own anti-spell up.
Yeah, it's one of those decks where I don't think you can. And then flipping an Imperm here.
If you don't do it here, then you don't get to do it ever.
Yeah, of course, because you just
Have a
get the
token.
Lost World token.
Yeah.
Interested to see how he decides to play this out, honestly. Because he can pop, summon a baby. But it's like he needs to have access to the Misk to get to Archosaur to pop the baby on the field.
I also don't think he has a Dino engrave.
Yeah,
do
so
an
he
easy
can't
effect.
use the Oviraptor effect. So that's why it was so big. I think he should have searched for... I guess searching for a baby wouldn't have done much either because you just summon the Arch and it gets impermed as well.
Yeah.
Or you could have searched for Misk and Battle Phase just swung and summoned your Ovi to protect it around Ash or Imperm.
Yeah, he could have just played the where he's just beating over the token and summoning.
Exactly. Let's see, at this point you probably summon Dolka, swing over one of them, like just leave your token on the field.
Yeah. You can like beat over Fiendus, leave him with Guru.
I think you have to swing
Or
over the
beat over
Guru and
Guru,
negate it
yeah.
because if they top deck a Fiendus, they can just Fiendus when you
Yeah.
try to negate the Guru.
Yeah. Well, then you just negate Fiendus.
Oh, that's right, because you'd still have just a
But then you're
second
not
negate.
negate, but you're only gonna have one negate if you attack Guru,
Yeah.
because you're gonna have to negate Guru effect.
Oh, he's Tornado Dragon the anti-spell.
So he's trying to make Pill live. He's trying to just go for game. It looks like.
Yeah, I mean,
I go for a whole bunch of damage.
won't be too hard. He has 3 monsters that he just sends for 3,000 damage with the Conductor, so...
But like you said, the 2 Link Karibo is banished. If he doesn't play a third, then he
I mean,
can't do Pill.
He can't pill unless he links off the Tornado Dragon.
Yeah. Then he's just not going for game.
Yeah, that's true. Unless he makes a Pentastag. If he has Pentastag in his extra deck, this is just game.
Yeah. I play Pentastag.
Yeah, I think you definitely have to play Pentastag because that card just allows you to win in situations like this.
Yeah.
When you're low on resources but have a way to like put Tyranno and 2 monsters on field.
A lot of people also don't know that Lost World giving them a token isn't a hard once per turn, so you can reuse a copy.
Give them multiple tokens and then just swing at all of them.
Yeah. Easy games.
Or like having multiple conductors swing at the tokens.
Summoning Conductor there is really bad too. He can get
You're
hit
playing
with
into
the
Relinquished Anima. Yeah, there's just... We see that some of these players are just not as aware of their zone placement, which is, you know, makes sense because not all of them play online for the most part. There's new cards that they just haven't gotten accustomed to.
Yeah. He's beating over the token. He's going to Lost World, destroy Baby from deck. And then he's going to use that effect to bring out Ovi.
Honestly, I think he should have brought out Petite so he can pop the Petite and Book and get out Pankratops because the Overwrapped already used its effect this turn.
Yeah. Well, he's going to like, he could Oviraptor, target token, destroy Petite from deck.
He already destroyed the monster from deck for the
Oh, yeah. Sorry. You're right.
Yeah, so now he can make Dolka now, or he can just bring back the baby as well.
He's going to bring back Ovi.
I guess Logi is actually pretty good because it negates the summon as well.
Yeah, that's a pretty good end board.
Yeah, because this also stops you from top decking. So that was a good match. Very lighthearted over there.
Yeah.
They obviously had a good time playing. Unfortunately, the Guru player did not draw his multiple field spells.
Yeah,
in game 3.
Sadly not.